I'm Rachel Nichols here with Utah coach Quinn Snyder. Quinn, this is the first time in this playoffs you guys have been in an elimination scenario. How do you feel about the urgency your team came out with?
Well, I think we're ready to play. You know, we know the situation and what's at stake.
Mike Conley, first time you've had him back in a while. What kind of difference is he making in what you guys can do?
Well, he has a presence on the court, for one thing. You know, and he's able to get into the paint, which I think helps everybody. Takes some pressure off Donovan and gets our other guys involved.
Thanks so much. Appreciate it. Back to you, Mike.
All right, Rachel. Quinn Snyder in his 7th year as head coach of the Jazz. Second on the all-time list. I think if he coaches 46 more years, he has a chance to pass Jerry Sloan for #1. Clarkson. Jumper's good. The NBA's 6th man with his first bucket, and Jazz go back up by 4.
I tell you what, though, just like Jerry, the late, great Jerry Sloan, Quinn Snyder's done an outstanding job from day one with this organization.
Well, we've got 2 excellent young coaches in this series as Paul George steps back, knocks down the 3. Rudy Gobert seems to be limping a little bit as he comes up the floor.
Everybody's limping, Mike.
Clarkson, another floater, Jordan Clarkson.
And again, you see the difference. Not just playing behind the line, getting into the paint. 2 straight hoops where he's been at 8 to 10 feet.
Well, they lived and died by the 3 in Game 5. That incredible first half, but a brutal second half. George drives on Ingles, steps back, 2-pointer. Got it.
No, but you're right, though, Mike. I'm looking at Rudy Gobert the last 2 trips. Running down the floor and now getting back. He clearly is hobbled.
Yeah, he's just not running right. George, meanwhile, he's got 12 points. Clarkson, no hesitation, shot blocked by Batum, his 2nd rejection. Boy, Nick Batum, his numbers don't blow you away, but his importance to this team as Ingles fouls Paul George. And Jeff, you've been really enjoying what Nick Batum brings to the Clippers.
I really do. I think Nick Batum is a great connector because he can pass, shoot, dribble, and defend. And he doesn't overhold the ball, so he's always moving it. He's very intelligent, and he can guard multiple positions.
He played 42 minutes in Game 5 at 9.7 boards, 4 steals, didn't have a single turnover in 42 minutes.
And one of those guys that is not a liability on the offensive end, but doesn't need the basketball to impact the game.
Royce O'Neal checks back in. Rondo throws it to George. O'Neal had his back to it. George, dangerous pass. Gets to Kennard. Terrence Mann, step back 2-pointer. Here comes Clarkson. Teron Lue saying one of the guys they can't let go off is Jordan Clarkson. He is capable of exploding. Bad pass that time from Conley. Rondo throws it ahead Batum. Alley-oop to Mann! Terrence Mann, the throwdown, and the Clippers regain the lead. He's got 14 points already.
Think about the buttons that Ty Lue has pushed during this offseason. Calling on during the postseason, calling on guys that he hadn't called on, trusting guys out of nowhere. He has pushed the right buttons and is in the zone as a coach right now.
Clarkson can't hit Gobert on the follow. Terrence Mann, in the first 4 games of this series, had a total of 12 points in 4 games total. Had 13 points in Game 5 and already 14 here in Game 6.
And he's playing a lot like Bruce Brown for the Nets. You know, these guards, as Rondo gets in and lays it in, these guards that play as quasi-5 on offense where they screen and roll, it's really interesting to see how it's evolved.
And it's a problem because if you can't expose it, having a big guy as a threat to score or punish you on the offensive boards, then you're at a disadvantage. That's what Rudy Gobert has to do.
Gobert, all 6 of his points coming off offensive rebounds. Rondo steps back, gets a good look at 3. O'Neal the rebound. Conley will reset. Drives on Kennard. Conley gets inside. The left-hander misses. Rebound Rondo. Rondo looking. George, 3-pointer.
couldn't ask for a better matchup in transition, though, finding George against Gobert.
Here's Ingles. Bangs it home. Second field goal for Ingles. Both teams continue to shoot over 50% from the field. Just over 4 minutes gone by here in the second. And Fix back up top. 7 on the 24. George on the drive. Stumbled a bit with a dribble. Falling away. And Clarkson grabs it. On the 24. Shot clock winding down. Clarkson sidestep 3, and Batum fouled him. Batum saying challenge. He's upset. Got a piece of the ball, but did he get a piece of the arm? And it's going to be a 3-shot foul. Most coaches don't want to use the challenge early like this.
That's on the ball.
Yeah, that's clearly on the ball.
You'd want to take
the challenge.
Yeah, the challenge here. Yeah.
Especially because if you don't, you give it up three free throws.
Batum reacted right away. So the officials will head to the scores table. We'll give you the result of the challenge and we come back.